Hello, good evening, everyone. So we have, last time we have solved the prison murder, but there's clearly more going on than meets the eye. Clearly that Dogan guy has some serious pull in the criminal underworld. If he's able to threaten the warden the way he did, so how deep does this go? I guess we're going to find out as we start Chapter 3. The Inherited Turnabout. What's for dessert today?
Catherine Hall!
And Jeff Masters' Piece of Cake.
Oh. Okay. Macaroons and waffles, light and fluffy chiffon cake. Happiness for one and all, the sweetest temptations. There? Where? Over there. Ding. Let's cook again today. This program sure brings back memories. Gregory, tomorrow I'm heading towards that fateful place with your son. To find out the truth of 18 years ago. 18 years ago? April 2nd, 10:05 a.m. Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain Patio. Mr. Shields, isn't it about time you told me what this is all about? Yes, our meeting with Ray Shields, who was Edgeworth's father, Gregory, was apparently his mentor. Why did you bring me to this museum with you? You're not busy now, are you, Miles? Thought it would be nice if we could share the romance of the constellations together. Well, I beg your pardon, but I would like to leave. I guess Edgy doesn't swing that way. Sorry, it was just a joke. Do you know about the final case your father worked on? The IS-7 incident? Yes. Manfred von Karma showed it to me immediately after I became a prosecutor. That wasn't the same incident that he was murdered right after, was it? I reviewed the case file again last night after you invited me here. And while I don't remember it very well, I also had been in attendance at the trial back then. When I was young, I loved watching my father do battle in the courtroom. During that trial, it was my father, the defense attorney, Gregory Edgeworth, against Von Karma. My former mentor, prosecutor Manfred von Karma. And while the trial ended with the defendant being declared guilty, I see. So you were there too, at Gregory's final trial. In that case, I'll cut to the chase and tell you what you want to know. The truth about the IS-7 incident. It happened 18 years ago, during the winter. All the buildings were covered in snow, coating the entire town like a layer of frosting. And it was in this very place that the incident occurred. This was all before Uncle Ray became a defense attorney. Okay, I guess we get a flashback now. December 24th, 5 p.m. Mr. Edgeworth, this request sure was sudden, don't you think? Indeed. We were contacted immediately after the client was arrested. My name is Gregory Edgeworth. I'm a defense attorney. I brought my assistant Raymond with me to meet our client, but... A murder on Christmas Eve? This is just too much! Ah, in the darkness, a miraculous meeting. Huh? Welcome, one and all, to the visitor's room. Okay, the one guy from the cold open. Amazing, so this is what meeting a client is like. It's the guy doing jazz hands down there. It happened so suddenly, I was completely surprised. I'm also surprised. 1,000 pardons for startling you. I'm merely expressing my happiness through song. Welcome, one and all. I greatly appreciate you coming. I thought, though, that Gregory Edgeworth's last case was the one with, Yanni Yogi. Unless we're gonna completely, we're gonna retcon the first game. So you're the client for this case. Indeed. My name is Gregory Edgeworth. I'm a defense attorney. I will be representing you in court. This is my assistant, Raymond Shields. Nice to meet you. I'll do my best to help you. Relax, Raymond. Please excuse his jitters. He's working part-time at my office as an apprentice. I thought I'd let him assist me in this investigation. So, Mr. Gregory and Raymond, correct? I am pleased to make your acquaintance. My job involves saving my clients from crimes in which they were falsely accused. First, I should determine if he is truly innocent. First, I would like to know more about you. Ah, I've forgotten to introduce myself. My name is Jeffrey Master. What? You mean you're Master Jeff? The world's greatest pastry chef, Jeff Master, the Master Chef. Try saying that 3 times fast. Yes, I'm honored that you have heard of me. All my fans call me Master Jeff. I guess it's better than Master Bates. Wowzers, I'm totally starstruck. I can't believe I get to meet Master Jeff. Raymond seems to know quite a bit about Mr. Master. Master Jeff makes fantastic desserts while putting on a song and dance show. What's for dessert today? Oh, God. Ray, you're getting a little too into it. I got caught up in their song myself. Oh, I'm so happy I get to sing with Master Jeff. It's my dream come true. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that as well. Mr. Master, Raymond, shall we return to the matter at hand? Yes, of course. My sincerest apologies for making you wait. Now, where should we start? You're the world's greatest pastry chef, but are you also skilled in song and dance? Yes, when I'm having a good time, my body just moves to the rhythm by itself. You seem to enjoy making desserts from the bottom of your heart. If you don't have a good time making desserts, you won't make anything good. Creating desserts that bring happiness to one and all is my purpose in life. Master Jeff's desserts are practically works of art. They sparkle and look so delicious. He's famous for his dreamlike desserts. Bringing happiness to all with his dreamlike desserts, huh? The incident occurred in your estate, is that correct? Yes. That's where the Great Dessert Contest was being held. It seems that the body was discovered in one of my creations. In one of... Holy crap. They found it in one of your desserts? For that reason, I was arrested by the detective in charge of the initial investigation. I would never do something as vile as robbing someone of their life. I'm certain that the police will also realize that they have made a mistake. Really? Do you know anything about the victim? He was a man named Isaac Dover. He was one of the competitors in the contest. He was a wonderful man who made desserts of the highest beauty. Why did he have to die? I see. He truly seems to be grieving over the victim's death. I believe I have a sufficient understanding of Mr. Master's personality. Mr. Master, before I accept your request, there is one final matter I must confirm. You did not kill Mr. Dover. Can I take your word for it? Yes, that is correct. I did not kill him. No matter what happens, I would never take another person's life. Those aren't the eyes of a liar. I understand. I believe you. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us. The pleasure is all mine. I'm grateful to speak with someone other than a detective. Next, we shall begin our investigation of the crime scene. We will report back with our findings once we've finished. Mr. Gregory, Raymond, I wish you good luck. Okay, so here. Oh, it sure is cold outside. I didn't expect it to be snowing this hard. Indeed, a blizzard like this will probably not clear up for a while. But even so, this mansion is ginormous. So this is what Master Jeff's place is like, huh? If you're going to hold a contest in your own home, you would need this much space after all. La la la, welcome, thank you for coming. Oh. Oh my, are you okay? I'm so very sorry. Would you happen to be Monsieur Edgeworth? Yes, I'm Gregory Edgeworth. And I'm his assistant, Raymond Shields. Greetings and welcome, Monsieur Edgeworth and Monsieur Shields. Please, call me Catherine Hall. I am in charge of the household affairs of this estate, and I'm also Monsieur Master's assistant. Ah, no way, you're the famous Kate, aren't you? You know of me? Of course I do, I see you on TV all the time. I'm a big fan of Piece of Cake. Oh goodness, I'm glad to hear you're a fan. Tell me, what is this piece of cake? It's a TV show that's hugely popular with the kids. Master Jeff and Kate sing and dance while they make delicious treats. Just like this. Oh, we get... Oh my... Raymond, stop fanboying and let's get... Oh, Monsieur Shields, that was incredible. I always practice along with the show. Maybe I should tell my son about this show. But man, doing this dance repeatedly sure works up your appetite. Ah, pardon my inconsideration. I've forgotten to take care of our guests. Please relax and have some tea. Oh, this is some fine Ceylon tea. I hear the aroma of citrus does wonders for your concentration. I see, so this is what Ceylon tea smells like. Oh? Those saucers are chilled. Yes, they help cool the tea more quickly for people who are bad with hot beverages. I see. These teacups also have a wonderful design. Oh, thank you very much. They are one of the few pride and joys of our estate, ordered directly from France. They were made by the famous sculptor, Pierre Hoquet. They are my absolute favorite articles of tableware. You seem to greatly appreciate this man's works. Yes, they are like treasures to me. She appears to be very honest about what she likes. Thank you, Miss Hall, but it's time for us to move on to business. Are there any details that you can give us about the incident? Ah, you're right. I sometimes get so distracted welcoming guests that I forget myself. To tell the truth, I was the one who discovered Monsieur Dover's body. So you were the first one to discover the body. Is it true that the body was discovered in one of Mr. Master's desserts? Yes, it was during the judges of the Great Dessert Contest. I heard the sound of something breaking from Monsieur Master's room. Monsieur Master, are you in here? Eee! When I looked inside the room, I saw Monsieur Dover's body inside the treasure chest. Thank you very much. I'm sorry to have made you recall such painful memories. No, I should be the one apologizing for not being much help. Now then, I believe it's time for us to start investigating the crime scene. Monsieur Edgeworth, Monsieur Shields, please some fine way to save Monsieur Master. Monsieur Master is not someone who could commit murder. Yes, of course. Just leave it to us. Then I shall entrust it to you. If you'll excuse me, I have to continue serving tea to the other inspectors. Raymond, let's head to the crime scene. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. So that's where the... Oh, hey, Detective Bad's here. Wow, the whole thing is made of chocolate. I can't believe I'm actually seeing Master Jeff's desserts up close. Were this not the scene of a murder, I admit I too would have delighted in this occasion. Now that you reminded me it's a murder scene, I'm getting shivers down my spine. Perhaps it's because this room is cold to begin with. Now that you mention it, this room really is cold. Choo! Well, I guess it makes sense. You wouldn't want the... If that's all made of chocolate, you wouldn't want it to melt. At least his coat is in better shape now. Never expected the defense attorney to show up so early. Pleased to meet you. I'm Jeff Masters' defense attorney, Gregory Edgeworth. This is my assistant, Raymond. How do you do? Detective Terrell Bad, homicide. Mr. Bad, the detective in charge of this case. A man of few words. What the? Why are you eating your paper? Tastes kind of bitter. Dude. He ate the paper? He likes to digest his memos in his stomach as well as in his mind. It's just a strange habit of his. Please don't be too concerned. It would probably be too much to ask him not to be concerned at all. More importantly, Detective Bad, will you give us permission to participate in the investigation? Permission denied. Why? Mr. Edgeworth is Master Jeff's defense attorney. Defense attorneys plant false evidence to try and get their not guilty verdict. I don't want their kind to disturb the crime scene. Mr. Edgeworth would never use false evidence to defend his client. I can't trust that coming from a defense attorney. Do the police still suspect Mr. Master, even after the investigation? If we didn't, we wouldn't have arrested him. I believe that Mr. Master is innocent. That's why I've come to investigate. Believing in his innocence, without investigating the crime scene. How naive. That's why I would like your permission to investigate. By investigating the crime scene, I want to ascertain if my thinking was naive or not. So you don't intend to leave until you've investigated the crime scene? Yes. Fine then. I'll give you permission to investigate the crime scene. Thank you. Yep, that's right. That's a lollipop. but I'll be accompanying you. I can't trust you defense attorneys, after all. If you understand that, you can begin your investigation. That's a lollipop? I'm a little surprised myself. Alright, let's begin the investigation. Raymond, be sure to take notes on the case. Leave it to me, Mr. Edgeworth. Just begin already. Okay. Finally get to look around. So this is where the body was discovered. I guess we're not given a chance to look at the body itself. So this is where the body was discovered. Yeah. The body's been removed, but otherwise the crime scene has remained untouched. What's this? It seems the body was discovered inside this chocolate treasure chest. The person who discovered it was Ms. Hall. Yes, as she already told us. She heard the sound of something breaking inside this room and came in. Okay, must be the chest. I'd like a little more information about this. What's this? Something's been dropped inside the treasure chest. This is... It seems to be some kind of seal with a design and initials carved onto it. Oh, for like the wax seals on envelopes? Looks like a signet crest. Was it the victim's? I don't know if it was the victim's, so we should take it for now. What is that, PH? To build such a large ship out of chocolate is magnificent. As expected of Master Jeff, I want to try eating it. Although I have no idea where to start eating it from. Anywhere should be fine, but if you start eating the crime scene, I'll make you leave. Ugh, don't glare at me! Can't you tell it was a joke? I'd like Raymond to be just a little bit calmer. Red rum. Voyage of the good ship Red Rum is written here. Sailed the 7 seas and in the end finally found a huge treasure. Modeled after the glory of an ancient adventurer. It's written here. So he failed 6 times. What an unlucky captain. No matter how many times he went on a fool's errand, in the end he reached the truth. Just like a detective spirit. Did detectives even exist during ancient times? Seems the stand supporting the ship has been broken. The ship tipped over and broke the treasure chest, didn't it? Ah, maybe! Could the victim have been crushed by the ship and killed? If that were the case, this would have been an accidental death. You two aren't serious about that, right? Well, we were only discussing one of the possibilities. That was being pretty serious, though. Detective Bad, I'd like you to tell me about the state of the victim. If you made a photo of the body, here, look at it. All you like. It seems the victim was beaten to death with a blunt object. Okay, we have a cause of death now. Has the murder weapon been found? You should try asking the prosecutor in charge later. It seems he doesn't intend to tell me frankly. So, may I borrow this photograph? Sure. It's not a photo that was taken by the police. Ms. Hall took a photo of the body with an instant camera when she discovered it. An instant camera? Is that like a disposable camera? An instant camera is a camera that can develop its film right after taking a picture. Ah, such a convenient camera exists. Anyway, let's go over the state of the crime scene a bit. This photo, upon closer examination, contradicts the state of the crime scene. I'll have to deduce the contradiction to resolve this matter. Yeah, one thing that... Let me see. Yeah, where's the blood?
Eureka!
This part is contradictory. It contradicts this piece of evidence. This ship is confectionery. How sweet. Otherwise, we could board the ship and sail down the Chocolate River. What an unpleasant dismissal. Huh? No? Feels like something that was here isn't anymore. Is it? Seems the body was discovered inside this... Okay. Yes, we've already... She heard the sound of something breaking inside this room and came in. I'd like a little more information about this. Okay, we already went over that. Okay, what about...
Eureka!
Are you sure the only thing the police removed from the crime scene was the body? Ah, they also took away the piece of cloth the body was wrapped in. In that case, a major contradiction has been created at the crime scene. Contradiction? Detective Bad, please look at the crime scene carefully once more. The blood stain that should have remained at the crime scene has disappeared. I definitely didn't get any reports about the blood stain being cleaned up. I'll check with forensics. Mr. Edgeworth, what happened? Comparing the photo and the crime scene, something struck me as being out of place. In the photo, the chocolate underneath the body remained intact inside the treasure chest. However, in the actual crime scene, it's missing. There's part of it removed. The chocolate with the bloodstain is completely vanished. Yes. Did the police remove it, or was this the work of the criminal? The killer clean it up after that picture was taken? According to forensics, no one's cleaned up any bloodstains. I see. Well, that would mean someone erased the bloodstain. Who knows? So that creates a question. Okay, we can also... Let's see. The stand that supported the ship was broken and caused the ship to tip over. And apparently he was beaten to death, so... Again, did he die from the ship falling on top of him? Due to the broken stand, the ship lost its balance. It would seem Miss Hall entered the room upon hearing the ship collapse. Yeah, when Miss Hall entered the room, the ship had already fallen over. At any rate, I wonder why the stand broke. Maybe there was something wrong with the ship's balance in the first place. Is that really true? Elegant tableware and cookware placed on the counter. It looks like the same tea set Ms. Hall was using earlier. Was Master Jeff drinking this black tea? On this tea set, only Jeff Masters' fingerprints were found. Very interesting design. Were his fingerprints found on any of the other cookware? The cookware was washed. Nobody's fingerprints remained. Or he might have been cooking with gloves on. Seems the only thing here with his fingerprints is the tea set. Why would he remove his gloves just to drink his tea, though? Elegant tableware and cookware placed on the counter. Looks like the same tea set Ms. Hall was using earlier. Oh, okay. That just gives us the same thing as before. How about this guy? Excuse me, but you are... Whoa. My apologies. I was meditating. What did you ask, Sir Detective? Actually, I'm a defense attorney. My name is Gregory Edgeworth. I'm his assistant, Raymond. Pardon my late introduction. My name is Dane Gustavia. I am one of the pastry chefs participating in this contest. What kind of desserts do you make, Mr. Gustavia? Whoa! What the? My specialty is making desserts out of candy. Oh, what a cute seahorse. It was meant to be a dragon dancing in the sky. This is a dragon? Well, yeah. No, the cedar line in Pokemon. I think it would fit better in the ocean than in the sky. I know all too well that design is my weak point. I plan to study design and undergo training in Zhengfa once things settle down here. I probably shouldn't touch the subject of design any further. Zheng Fa is brought up once more, though. Mr. Gustavia, if you aren't related to the investigation, why are you in this room? Sir Detective wanted to know more about the desserts in this room, so he asked me to come. Since he's one of the contestants, he might know something. Very possible. Mr. Gustavia, those instruments you use are quite unusual. These instruments are called candy pumps, and they pump air into the candy. Oh, so it's like glass blowing. They kind of look like swords. They're so cool. Indeed. Ever since I began using them, no day has gone by where I didn't receive a burn or wound. That's why I wear red clothes, so that not a single stain will ever show on me. Making desserts is serious business. I'm always training. Does he injure himself because he hasn't trained enough? Can you tell me about the great dessert contest that was held here? From the looks of this room, it seems the desserts weren't just for eating. The exhibition Sir Master held was a contest in the art of dessert. The art of dessert? Desserts that are true works of art, made solely out of edible materials. The works of art in this room are all made from desserts. I see, hence the big chocolate ship. Now that you mention it, this whole room is filled with the smell of chocolate. Sir Master exhibits great talent in both flavor and design. If you are not able to surpass Sir Master in flavor and design, you will not be able to win. Being the world's greatest pastry chef is pretty hard, isn't it? In other words, if I can surpass Sir Master, I shall become the world's greatest pastry chef. But I thought your specialty was candy. That was the prize of this contest. The prize is the title of the world's greatest? In addition to that, there's also Sir Master's treasured Angel's Recipe. If you want to learn more about the contest, just look at this piece of paper. These were the rules that were given to the participants of the contest. Yeah, I want to see that. Prizes. Title of World's Greatest Pastry Chef and Angel's Recipe. Rules. Contestants' rooms will be judged, starting from the left. Afterwards, all parties will meet in Jeff's room. Any decorations not made from desserts are prohibited. Entering another contestant's room before judging is prohibited. Sorry, but I do not know much about the incident. I only learned about the incident after the judging had finished. How is the contest judging carried out? Let's see, Sir Master started judging at 3 p.m. Starting from my room, the judging proceeded in a clockwise direction. I used the room to the right of Sir Master's room, which is the room we're in now. Wait, so this was his room. Next, the room of a female pastry chef named Delicia was judged. Female pastry chef. What kind of person is she? She's a frightening woman who would do anything to achieve her goal. Oh, anything. I heard she used lots of cream to make a fantasy-themed dessert. And lastly, Sir Dover's room was judged. His works were frozen statues made from sherbet. How do you... wonder how people pronounce that. Sherbet? Sherbet? Sorbet? Hall discovered the body in the middle of Gustavia's judging. She panicked, and because she immediately notified the police, Master continued judging without knowledge that the body had been discovered. As a result, Master judged Dover's room in Dover's absence. So at what point during the judging was the body found? It seems we have plenty of room to suspect Master. Lacking information. It's probably too early to object. By the way, Detective Bad, what were you talking to Mr. Gustavia about earlier? I was asking him about the chocolate frame hanging on that wall. I thought something was missing. Oh yeah, one of the leaves. I thought if I asked someone who knew a lot about desserts, I could get an answer. Although thanks to your arrival, I still haven't gotten my answer yet. Well then, since you've been waiting for so long, we can ask him about it right now. I guess you don't understand sarcasm. Mr. Gustavia, can you assist us with this matter? I train in the art of desserts every day. If you have a question about desserts, please do not hesitate to ask. Oh, and I see one of the candle, things is missing too. You make such a beautiful picture out of chocolate. As expected of Master Jeff. Is this really chocolate? Looks like an actual picture to me. Oh, and I also see... Okay, it says Angel's Recipe, and I see what looks like a handprint next to it. Impressive, Sir Attorney. You noticed well. This picture of an angel is not a dessert, but rather the Angel's Recipe. The Angel's Recipe, the prize for the contest. This picture isn't made of chocolate? Indeed, within this chocolate frame lies a recipe book. Sir Master told everyone when he explained the rules of the contest to us in this room. So the contestants knew the recipe was here. How about it? This frame, don't you think it's missing something? This must be what Detective Bad was asking Mr. Gustavia about earlier. This chocolate frame. There does seem to be a part that's missing. That's been bothering me as well. Huh? What's missing? Let me show Raymond the part of the chocolate frame that's missing.
Take that!
Look closely at this part with the decorations. Can you see that one of them is missing? It's true, it's different from the other decorations. This imperfect balance in the decorations is not like Sir Master. On closer examination, it seems the frame is not the only one with missing parts. We need to investigate further. all the desserts in this room each have one part missing. Whoa, the candle holder and the sailing tools are all damaged as well. So someone tampered with the crime scene. But why? Was the killer trying to get the angel's recipe? Perhaps. Maybe. Master vandalized the room himself to fool us. Master Jeff wouldn't do that sort of thing to his desserts. Tampered desserts. I wonder if they're connected to the incident. Okay, now what about this handprint? Those finger marks are... Those are unidentified finger marks. We don't know who they belong to. If we can get a fingerprint, that would be useful. Since no fingerprints were left behind. Oh, okay. Of course, it wasn't going to be that easy. Finger marks without fingerprints. These might be related to the case. So I guess they were wearing gloves? It's a mystery. He was probably wearing gloves. Ugh. Detective Bad lacks dreams and romance. I don't think there are dreams or romance at a murder scene. Achoo! Are you alright, Raymond? This room is way too cold. The fountain patio wasn't very warm either. This room certainly is cold. Do you want to wear my coat? No, I'm fine. Because that's something that you promised to give me when I became a defense attorney. That's right. Why is the temperature turned down so low? I mean, I assumed it was to keep the chocolate from melting. It's been turned down in order to maintain the chocolate's temperature. Yes, as I thought. Why don't you try opening the panel cover on that wall? Panel cover? Oh. Whoa, there's a secret panel hidden there. So that's the temperature controls? This control panel is installed in all the rooms Sir Master prepared. So as not to distract from the dessert's presentation, the cover was closed to conceal it. What does the panel do? It allows you to change the temperature and the lighting in the room. In order to preserve any type of dessert, it can go down to about -22 degrees Fahrenheit. The room would be like a freezer. It's set to 59 degrees. No wonder I thought it was cold. Detective Bad, I'm not allowed to change the temperature, am I? Preserving the crime scene is the foundation of being a detective. But I'm not a detective. A defense attorney can't recklessly damage a crime scene either. Indeed, Sir Assistant. Enduring hardship is also a part of training. In order to preserve chocolate, 59 degrees to 64 degrees is the ideal temperature. The ideal temperature for chocolate, as expected of the dessert chef. No, it is but a trifle. This is basic knowledge that anyone should know if they're a dessert chef. So what's the ideal temperature for candy and fresh cream? long as you watch out for humidity and hot temperatures, candy shouldn't melt. For fresh cream, around 50 degrees Fahrenheit is the ideal temperature. You need to watch out for the humidity and hot temperatures for candy, I see. Detective Bad, he seemed a bit happy when they were talking about candy. Well, given his apparent fondness for lollipops. Is candy one of his favorite things? I already checked this area earlier, but it never hurts to take another look. So all the desserts in this room were tampered with, or vandalized in some way. Each of Mr. Master's works had a piece that was missing. Add to that the fact that the ship's chocolate stand was broken. I think we can surmise that someone ransacked this room. And the one who did it could be the true culprit. That I don't know. But I think it's safe to say that the ship stand got broken when the room was ransacked. And when the ship fell over, it broke the treasure chest lid. I expect the lid of the treasure chest was originally closed. Alright then. Give me a quick pause and continue investigating in a few minutes. Okay. In your investigation with, I guess, dessert murder. Someone's gonna get their just desserts, eh? What are you investigating? Sir, I'm checking the temperature of the stream. What have you learned? Sir, the stream has warm water. The stream is connected to the fountain in the patio and runs through every room. It's an unusual construction for a room. The minds of the rich, I'll never understand. Seems our investigation of this room is just about over. Crime scene notes updated. This should make it clear. Jeff Master is the culprit. Does it? Check the teapot. This is a rather splendid design. You think so? It seems a little eccentric to me. I'm not even sure how you'd pour tea out of it. Rather than the practicality of the design, focus on its artistic merits. Looks like you could summon a genie out of it. Mr. Edgeworth's art sense is too high for me to understand. What's this? Oh, it's the same... There's an engraving on the bottom. It says PH. Okay, the same engraving as the signet. It's the initials of the creator, Pierre Hoquet. Ms. Hall and Mr. Master seem to be big fans of this sculptor's works. Initials, huh? If it were mine, it would be RS. Why don't you try carving your own initials on your own belongings? The victim's body was found in a treasure chest made of chocolate in Jeff Master's room. The cause of death seems to be a hard blow to the head by a blunt object. Some circumstances are unclear regarding a part of the treasure chest and a bloodstain. Each of the desserts in Mr. Master's room have one part missing. Before the ship's fall, the treasure chest lid was closed. Why? All the rooms in this mansion were locked from the inside. The only way to open them from the outside was to use this key to the mansion. Do you know who had the key? Master was the only one with the key. There were no spare keys. I see, so that's why you're convinced it was him. By using the mansion key, Master could enter all the contestants' rooms. Of course, the key could also lock his room from the outside. However, Mr. Master's room is currently unlocked. Yeah, that's why I suspect Master is the culprit. I'd like to hear your reasoning in more detail. If the body had been found in a locked room, Master would have been the prime suspect. That's why Master made sure to leave the door to his own room unlocked. and to ensure that the body would be seen, Master broke the lid on the treasure chest. Why would he do that, though? After the judging, everyone was scheduled to meet in Master's room. That would have created the impression that the murder had occurred while he was away. Contrary to his expectations, the body was discovered by Miss Hall. That's my reason for suspecting Master. Got that? Ace Attorney. Title drop. So you think it was Mr. Master himself who vandalized this room? Yeah. You defense attorneys believe that justice lies in trusting your clients, but I'm a detective. If I believed every poor sap's story, I'd let the suspicious ones get away. I understand your reasoning thoroughly. However, I'd like you to hear my thoughts on the subject now. Fine. Detective Bad believes he's right, but I won't give up so easily. I can't accept his reasoning. I'll have to show him evidence that contradicts it. If the body had been found in a locked room, Master would have been the prime suspect. That's why I made sure to leave his... You believe the broken lid was Mr. Master's doing? Yes. If he hadn't done that, the body wouldn't have been found. It doesn't seem likely that he would break his own work while he was judging the contest. That's right, Master Jeff would never waste a good dessert. On Piece of Cake, he even eats them while dancing. That TV show is irrelevant here. Detective Bad, you know about Piece of Cake? When I didn't even know of it? What? This is a surprise, so do you sing the song too? That's irrelevant. That says that he totally does. Anyway, the one who broke the lid on the treasure chest was Master. Judging schedule. Wait. This was... Because this was when Kate came into the room because she heard something fall. That was the sound of the ship falling, breaking the chest open. Originally, the victim's body was hidden inside the chocolate treasure chest. Miss Hall entered the room when she heard a sound. I think it's likely that this was the sound of that chocolate ship falling over. Yeah, that's what you would think, just by looking at the crime scene. You said Mr. Master broke the treasure chest lid himself. But this photo shows the ship's fall caused the lid to break. If the lid broke just before Ms. Hall found the body, then Mr. Master, who was in the middle of judging, could not have broken it. I never said Master broke the lid directly. The ship was set up to fall during the judging. I believe he tampered with the stand. Objection! Do you have proof he tampered with it? No, but the investigation isn't completely over yet. Seems they still haven't found anything conclusive. Have you found any other fingerprints, other than Mr. Masters in this room? Yeah, there were some left on the door. But the victim, Dover, and Master were among the fingerprints left behind. Before we made our desserts, we all gathered here to have the judging explained to us. Perhaps that was when we left those fingerprints. But you didn't find any fingerprints on the works in this room. What? Someone tampered with the chocolate in this room. So perhaps there are other fingerprints on it apart from Mr. Masters. No matter what we find, it won't clear Master of suspicion. Labby, hurry up and dust the chocolate for fingerprints. Roger that, sir. Detective Bad. We found another person's fingerprints on all the chocolates in this room. Whose fingerprints? They belong to a pastry chef by the name of Delicia. Good work. Return to the investigation. Yeah, I think we're gonna need to have a little chat with this Delicia. It would seem that there are other suspicious people besides Mr. Master after all. I don't need a defense attorney to tell me that. I'm not stopping my investigation. We'll just go and listen to what this Delicia has to say. Delicia. Gustavia told us about her not long ago. Is she really a frightening woman who would do anything to achieve her goal? Mr. Edgeworth, this Delicia lady sounds mighty suspicious to me. A little too suspicious. Seems it'll be necessary for us to speak with her directly as well. Detective Bad, will you allow us to accompany you? I'm not obligated to do that. What? But, you were the one who discovered the truth of the crime scene. Fine, have it your way. Follow me. Detective Bad, thank you. Detective Bad, sir. Are you sure about that? Right now, that prosecutor is in the room. Doesn't matter. Him and I don't see eye to eye. Him? Who's the prosecutor in charge of this case anyway? Manfred von Karma. What? Von Karma's in charge? That guy hasn't lost a case in 25 years! Manfred von Karma, the living legend of the prosecutor's office. If the rumors of his courtroom performance are to be believed, he's a man who would do anything for a guilty verdict. No matter what kind of prosecutor is, I can only hold true to the path I believe in. So that was the end of this section. Holy crap. So this is her room. Wow, a candy castle! There are even some fairies over there. He did say that she was working on a fantasy-themed dessert. This room seems to be structured in the same way as Master's room. But but it's nowhere near as cold. This room also seems to have been fitted with a temperature control panel. Ah, it's over by that orange lamp, right? Indeed. Let's not forget to investigate it later. Even so, this room is like something out of a fairy tale. Is this cream-covered castle Delicia's work? Where is Delicia? Oi, can I help you? What, you're her? Hello, boys. I'm Delicia Scones. In my native England, I'm known as Miss Delicious. Oh boy. Being called a boy, even though I'm already 34. Certainly a rare experience. Boys? I understand you calling me that, but Mr. Edgeworth? As far as I'm concerned, you're all boys to me. Even that detective over there. My name is Bad, not Boy. Just how old is this woman? Mr. Attorney, let's just finish our business here. Didn't they say, Von Karma's here too? Oh, there. Oh, speak of the devil. You. What do you think you're doing? Conversing with a mere attorney? He just come right out of the castle? Mr. Edgeworth, a scary man came out of the candy castle. Von Karma. This man is Prosecutor Von Karma? Hey, Manny! So he's Von Karma. Pleased to meet you, Prosecutor Von Karma. My name is Gregory Edgeworth, defense attorney. Bah! I have no interest in the names of defense attorneys. After all, they only exist to be crushed by me. What a rude man. You don't know the half of it. That piercing gaze and furrowed brow. Oh, he's even scarier than the rumors say. Although that statement was also very rude. Prosecutor Von Karma, would you allow us to investigate too? You think I would give information to a mere defense attorney? As I thought, it won't be that simple. However, I'll make a special exception for this room. Why'd he change his mind so quickly? You, old bloodhound. Don't call me that. My name is Bad. Ha! A mere detective speaking back to me? I admire your courage, at least. Bad. Stand watch and see to it that they don't misbehave. Why me? I will not accept your refusal. Well then, I'll be investigating Gustavia's room next. Okay, bye, Dracula. I'm babysitting again. I wonder why he and Von Karma aren't investigating together. Yeah, it seems like Bad doesn't care much for Von Karma either. Instead of being on bad terms, it seems like they hardly know each other. Mr. Edgeworth, now that we've got Von Karma's permission, we can continue investigating. Yes, his manner bothers me, but I'm glad we can at least continue the investigation. Hold it. I also need to investigate this room. I don't want you disturbing the room. So you'll investigate after me. What? Aren't you the detective in charge of this case? Why haven't you investigated this room yet? The detective in charge of the initial investigation was a close colleague of Von Karma. I came to take over for him, so I only got to this mansion just recently. So that's why he and Von Karma are investigating together. Detective Bad, will you allow us to investigate with you like before? In doing so, you'll be able to supervise us and also ensure we don't tamper with anything. You want me to watch you? You're a strange lawyer. I'll let you stick around. A little longer. Yay, you did it, Mr. Edgeworth! Thank you, Detective Bad. But if I decide you're holding up the investigation, you'll have to leave. Yes, I understand. Well then, let's begin the investigation. Okay, let's have a word with her. Huh? Miss Delicious, you don't seem as energetic as you were earlier. Delicia, can I just ask, did something happen with Von Karma? Yesy, nothing of the sort. But you just said yesy. That yesy just now is only a greeting. You're a cute boy. I like you. What's your first name? Huh? It's Raymond, but... Well, Ray Ray, think you make a good man of yourself someday. Ray Ray? How about that? I think you have a way with British ladies. She's a little different from my image of a lady. Why don't we listen to what she has to say? Can you tell me about your actions during the contest? Yes, see? We began making desserts for the contest around 10 o'clock. Basically, I was in here making my desserts the whole time. At 1:30, I joined the afternoon tea for about an hour or so. Afternoon tea? It's a social occasion where conversation is had over black tea and cakes. So it's pretty much a tea party. Well, I suppose. Oh, Greggy, you're a smart boy, aren't you? When did I become Greggy? Where was the afternoon tea held? It took place in the gardens, outside the fountain patio. It's our customary break time during the contest. It's always held at the same time. Today, there were just 3 of us who took part. Jeffy, Katie, and me. So the victim wasn't there. Since Jeffy has already finished his creations, he was there from beginning to end. Oh. Icy and Gusty didn't join in because they hadn't finished their desserts yet. So everyone other than Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia participated. So he could very well have been killed before then. Yes. Actually, I hadn't finished my dessert yet either. I just wanted to try some of Jeffy's handmade pastries and Katie's fresh brewed tea. So, after I'd eaten my fill, I returned before everyone else. During the contest, did you enter any of the other contestants' rooms? What are you saying? Got nervous all of a sudden. We found your fingerprints on the desserts at the crime scene.
You found him!
Are you admitting that you went to the scene of the murder?
I admit it, but I'm not the murderer.
But did you try to sabotage his stuff?
It's the honest truth. Please hear me out.
What were you doing in Mr. Master's room?
The truth is, I was studying his desserts.
Studying?
Because Jeffy's so talented at making sweets. Well, nobody was in his room at the time, so I just decided to study his works for a bit.
So you really went just to look? But if you were just looking, you wouldn't have left your fingerprints behind, right?
Yes, see, and it's natural that I left fingerprints on the desserts. For the sake of research, I ate some of his desserts.
Huh? Isn't that like stealing food? It couldn't be. The one who wrecked Mr. Master's room was...
Sorry. Wasn't my intention to vandalize the room, but... I did eat a few parts of the desserts in his room. I secretly ate little bits and pieces so Jeffy wouldn't find out.
But I'm not sure if she's the one who left the handprint, because there were no fingerprints on that. So, did you eat the ship's stand as well?
Yes, see, I did.
Chocolate ship broke because of you?
I'm sorry.
So the reason she left the afternoon tea early was to preserve her appetite.
But you gotta believe me on this, I'm not the murderer.
Her actions are sufficiently suspicious, but I won't press on it yet. Ooh, are we gonna have another stepladder debate? What is it, Mr. Attorney? Something about that ladder bothering you? Detective Bad, it's actually a stepladder. Every goddamn time. They're both the same to me. They're completely different. Look at their basic nature. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth, you tell him. Here are all the tools used to make desserts. Everything from a bucket of fresh cream to a brush and a trowel. Looks more like a construction worker's tools. Well, I guess if you're making something that big.
Hey now, boys, don't underestimate the work of a pastry chef.
Sweet mate?
What? Completely different from construction work, where they cover the walls with cement. We use the trowel to smear the cream and the brush to clean any uneven parts.
How is that different from construction work? It says the 4 fairies in the Curious Candy Castle. It seems this was the theme for Delicia's works. But it's not just the Candy Castle I'm curious about. I can't believe this amazing castle is made entirely out of confectionery.
I know, what a work of fantasy. It's like a fairy tale world.
You like all this fairy tale stuff, don't you?
Sorry. I got a bit too excited, didn't I?
No, it's interesting to me since you're so enthusiastic about it. Unlike my son. Your son? He's only in grade school, yet he prefers to read law books instead of fairy tales. I'm worried that he won't be able to make any friends that he can talk to. What an interesting kid. I'd like to be his friend. I think you'd be more of an older brother to him. An older brother, huh? Yeah, eating more paper. Well, I got some growing up to do then. Yes, and that's why we have to continue with the investigation. The castle doors are open. When someone opens a door, they really should remember to close it afterwards. Yeah, because Von Karma was in there just shortly ago. Would he say that directly to Prosecutor Von Karma, though? Huh? Looks like there's some stuff inside. Let's see. Wait, I'll examine it. Stay out of the way. This fresh cream melts too easily. Melting. Seems like Detective Bad's shoes got covered in cream. Why were these objects kept inside the candy castle? Well, what are they? If there's anything you want to investigate, you better speak up now. Two big rocks are placed here. It's like a storage room. Yeah, the inside of the candy castle isn't so dreamy. Hey, maybe they're raw gemstones. Who knew there were such treasures hidden within the castle? Seems like a rather careless way to handle treasure. Looks like there's something underneath the rocks. Seems there's a pedestal attached to both of the rocks. Yeah, I'm wondering what these are, because didn't the rules say that you can't use non-food items in the contest? Of course, it's a pedestal for displaying the gems. Well, in any case, this is no ordinary object. And what are these rolls? There are rolls of blue cloth here. Looks like there's 4 of them in all. They certainly don't look like desserts. Yeah, I don't know what the cloth is for. Wait, is it... Oh, it is! The body also had a blue cloth over it. It almost seems like it was hidden here inside the castle. Also, the color of this cloth looks familiar somehow. And how about this? Also, some hexagonal holes. This pillar has a hexagonal recess. Looks like a pedestal, but it has nothing in it. A hexagonal recess, huh? I wonder what could have been put there. Giant strawberry would fit with the fresh cream. Detective Bad, I don't think strawberries are hexagonal. I was just hoping. Then I hope it's a banana. I think I'd prefer blueberries. Okay, I guess, what is this? Like A Resident Evil puzzle? The rock's pedestal has a similar shape to the recesses on the castle's pillars. Perhaps the rock is meant to be placed on top of the pillars. Oh, that's right, they're both hexagonal. I wonder why they were hidden inside the castle, though. Why, indeed. The blue cloth and the rocks inside the castle. I wonder if they belong to Delicia. Delicia? These things in the castle, what were they used for? Because once again, the rules state you can't use non-food related items in the contest.
Those? I'm afraid I can't tell you.
Looks like Von Karma's keeping her silent. As to be expected from him.
I've been found out. He'll get mad at me if I talk.
Prosecutor Von Karma doesn't intend on being upfront with this information. Oh, it's such a shame. We finally figured out where the rocks are supposed to go.
Could it be that you're interested in my goods?
Phrasing? Your goods? Are you coming on to us?
Those are my popular relaxation goods.
You mean the rocks and the cloth?
Yes, see, that's right. You see, they're not actually rocks, but special lamps made from rock salt.
Oh, I've heard of those. They're supposed to be therapeutic. Wow, so those are lamps.
Gets even more exciting, because this cloth also has an amazing secret.
As soon as we showed interest in her goods, she became quite talkative.
Since we got him out, come experience the therapy, boys. Daddy, could you put everything up?
It's not baddie, it's bad.
So you won't do it? Is Batty being a bad boy?
Oh dear. This chick. Labby, are you done photographing this room? Yes, sir, I am. Then go help Delicia. Yes, sir, I'm on it.
Thanks. I knew you were a good boy underneath, Batty.
Miss Delicious, that was amazing. You even persuaded Detective Bad.
Thanks a lot, Batty. And you too, Forensies.
She even gave the forensics a nickname. I think that's her way of showing she cares. What's so therapeutic about these things anyway?
We don't have time for that now, Batty. The show's about to begin.
Show?
Forensies, finishing touches, please.
Yes, ma'am. It's... Wow, it's so beautiful! It really is. Wish my son could see this.
Oi, I told you so, right? The four fairies in the Curious Candy Castle was the theme of my work. So sparkly and cute, right?
It seems like one of them is missing something.
The truth is, I plan to unveil it during the contest. Well, I'm glad I got to show it to you boys.
But it doesn't look like the rock salt lamps are lighting up.
Huh?
I wonder why. I think I'll need to examine the rocks and the fairies again. Oh, wait. What? Okay, that's pretty conspicuous. What's the castle doors adorned with a beautiful cloth. I think this was the cloth that was in the castle. Entranceways are always beautiful. That's what a detective thinks. Yes, after Detective Bad's shoes have trampled all over it. But this is no time for snide remarks. Yeah, okay, let me... Looks like both the lamps and the pillars are broken. And why is that one... Is that blood on that one? Both their light bulbs are broken. Maybe they were dropped on the floor. There's some sort of red stain on this lamp's surface. The stain, could it be... That smell, there's no mistaking it. It's a blood stain. Ah. Have we found our murder weapon? Ah, that's a blood stain! Why is there a blood stain on this lamp? I wonder if this has something to do with the lamp bulb being broken. I should also take a look at the other lamp here. So this is where Delicia originally intended to put the lamps. I don't get why she put them in the castle. Since they're broken and don't light up, maybe she decided to put them out of the way. If she wanted them out of the way, there are many other places to store them. It's like that old saying, hide the salt in the sugar bag. I think the saying goes, hide a tree in the forest. If Delicia intended to use these lamps as decorations during the contest, it creates a contradiction with that piece of evidence. I need to deduce the contradiction at the scene. Yes, you're right. Because... again, any decorations not made from desserts are prohibited. So she couldn't use this in the contest anyway. Detective Bad, please read the contest leaflet. Any decorations not made from desserts are prohibited. Huh. These rock salt lamps and the fluorescent cloths go against the rules. So maybe that's why they were hidden in the castle. I wonder about that. I think we should investigate further into Delicia's actions. Okay, and the rock salt lamp. Again, was that our murder weapon? There's evidence that the victim was beaten to death with a blunt object. What's more, there's a blood stain on one of the broken rock salt lamps. Could this lamp have been the murder weapon? You're right! It could have been used as a weapon. Labby, is the blood analysis on this rock salt lamp finished? Yes, sir. It finished just a few moments ago. The bloodstain on that lamp belonged to the victim. Oh, so I guess that cinches it. You heard what he said. The murder weapon was hidden in Delicia's room. We need to consider her as one of the suspects as well. No, I don't think it was Delicia. If she did it, I would think that she would have been more thorough in disposing of evidence. Yeah, this one, the cloth is missing for this fairy. Unlike the other fairies, this one doesn't have a fluorescent cloth. Miss Delicious, it's not right to leave one out. I don't like it either. But one fluorescent cloth and a machine has gone missing. You've lost a cloth and a machine? What sort of machine is it? Oi, let me tell you. Each piece of fluorescent cloth is hooked up to one of these machines. The machine is called a rainbow light device. Light is sent through the cable and into the cloth, which is made of optic fibers. Just fiddle around with the settings a bit and it'll turn into all sorts of colors. When it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. And when it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cool ice. It's powered by a long-lasting battery that's resistant to changes in temperature. I'm not very familiar with these kinds of devices. Mr. Edgeworth, she's saying it's a machine that transmits light to the special cloth. I see. It's amazing what they come up with these days. So, one rainbow light device and one fluorescent cloth are missing. Okay, we found the cloth. It was draped over the body. Yes, see, that's right. Wherever could they be? This fluorescent cloth. Could it be related to the case? There's a cover on the wall, just like in Mr. Master's room. Let's open it up. Yeah, what do we got here? The room temperature is 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and the lights are set to green. Gustavia said that 50 degrees Fahrenheit is the ideal temperature for fresh cream. This room's temperature is too high. Yeah, and didn't... This is intriguing. Didn't Bat observe that it was melting? So somebody turned the temperature up. The reason the fresh cream is so fragile is due to the temperature in this room. So does this mean that somebody tried to sabotage her entry as well? So my shoes got creamed. Phrasing. Because the room temperature is set at 68 degrees. Speaking of which... When you open the castle door, the doorknob didn't break. Yeah. It was stronger than I thought. Strong. A dessert? Detective Bad, could you have a closer look at that doorknob? This is... It would seem this doorknob isn't a dessert. And it's not just the doorknob, this castle and the fairies are just plastic molds coated in fresh cream. Oh, so... Huh? Then this isn't a dessert piece at all. It would seem they're just fake desserts covered in fresh cream. Okay, so yeah, she's breaking the rules, and almost her entire entry is fake. Using decorations that were against the rules and making fake desserts. A lot of Delicia's actions seem suspicious. Yeah, it doesn't seem like she's aiming to be the world's greatest pastry chef. Also, the temperature of this room is way too high. Is there a reason for that? I wonder. I think we should ask Delicia directly. Excuse me, Bad. Delicia, why is the room temperature set to 68 degrees?
The cold doesn't agree with me, plus it's bad for the body. The figure just doesn't maintain itself, you know. Naturally, as a lady, I want to look young forever.
I wonder, how old is Miss Delicious? How old Miss Delicious really is? Raymond, a true gentleman never asks a woman her age. This room is mainly filled with cream. 50 degrees is the recommended temperature for preserving fresh cream.
What? Really? Now it's all gone to waste.
It looks like Miss Delicious didn't know. That's even more sus. I thought she was supposed to be a first-class pastry chef. The fake desserts and the rule violations, and now, her lack of basic knowledge. Looks like she keeps many secrets. Okay, so that's why she went to go study his desserts then. Delicia's knowledge in the art of dessert making is lacking in fundamental areas. And she claims she went into Mr. Master's room in order to study his desserts. These actions and ideas are not fitting of someone aiming to be the world's greatest pastry chef. Yeah. They don't sound like the words of a pro. It's like she doesn't even realize it, or maybe she isn't a real pastry chef. Perhaps she had some other intention. It's possible she didn't go into the room to study desserts. So then, are you saying Miss Delicious is the criminal? We can't say that for sure yet. But I know she's hiding something from us. That's enough investigating. We found much more than I expected. And yet, something from before still bothers me. Prosecutor Von Karma must have found the murder weapon in this room. So then, why did he let Delicia be? Firstly, I must ascertain Von Karma's true motives. Detective Bad, I would like to ask Prosecutor Von Karma something. I've also got business with him. And Delicia there, too.
What's the idea, Batty? Don't glare at me like that.
Seems Detective Bad also has his doubts about Delicia and Von Karma. Delicia, would you come with us for a moment?
Yesy, that's fine. What for?
We have to find Von Karma. There's some things we need to talk about. Okay, and we will do that in just a few. Okay, and we're back. Something that I realized during the break. Early on, I mentioned this case because this was apparently Gregory Edgeworth's final case. And I mentioned Yanni Yogi. And I remembered from the DL6 incident in the first game, he wasn't the one on trial in that case. He was the court bailiff who would later be accused of killing him. But yeah, it was actually... This is the case where... that ended up tarnishing... Von Karma's perfect... record. Which was, of course, if you remember that game, was what caused him to kill Edgeworth in retaliation. So I guess now we finally get to see that case play out. Okay. And there he is. Prosecutor Von Karma, we need to talk about the case. From the look on your face, I'd assume you found the murder weapon. Ah, so you did know about it. Yes. We discovered the murder weapon in Delicia's room. It would seem Mr. Master isn't the only suspect in this case. Bah! That is not true. Where the murder weapon was found does not change the fact that Master is the culprit. As long as I am here. Why is Von Karma so sure of himself? Well then, are you going to explain why the murder weapon was in Delicia's room? Naturally, if you wish to know, I'll tell you. Does he think Master planted it there to frame her? In order to pin the crime on Delicia, Master used the rock salt lamp to kill the victim. He then deposited the murder weapon in Delicia's room. If he had left the murder weapon at the crime scene, Master would have been the one suspected. He couldn't move the body, but it was easy to move the murder weapon. Ergo, there would be no evidence pointing to a specific culprit at the crime scene. Oh. Precisely. I carried out the investigation myself. There can be no room for doubt. Do you have evidence that he moved it? That will not be necessary. What? If you have an objection, say it. Do you think a mere defense attorney can break my logic? Deposited the murder weapon. It's easy to move the murder weapon. No evidence. How can you conclude that Mr. Master's the killer without any evidence? You think that will shake me? You disappoint me. As long as the body was found in Master's room, he's the prime suspect. Objection! Is there really no evidence pointing to anyone else at the crime scene? Surely there's room for further investigation. Insolent attorney. Another investigation is not necessary. Master must be the killer. If you think differently, cease these pointless words and speak with evidence. Think back to the crime scene. If Mr. Master isn't the killer, there must have been something there incriminating someone else. It seems Von Karma won't be shaken easily. That's right, because we also found the cloth at the crime scene.
Objection!
It's true that the murder weapon and bloodstains disappeared from the vicinity. However, there was still one piece of incriminating evidence left behind. Have a look at this photograph, which was taken when the body was first discovered. This cloth was used to wrap the body. Doesn't it remind you of the fluorescent cloth from Delicia's room?
What fluorescent cloth was at the crime scene?
Fluorescent cloth? You, just what part of this cloth is fluorescent? I guess Von Karma doesn't know about this cloth's secret. It looks like a normal cloth at first glance, but if you use this rainbow light device, you can make it glow. Yeah, isn't one of those still missing? Prosecutor Von Karma seems a little surprised. I don't think it was the cloth's ability to glow that surprised him. Yeah, he doesn't like to be shown he's wrong. One sheet of this fluorescent cloth is currently unaccounted for. Now, I'd like you to look at the color of the cloth in this photo. Don't you think it looks like the color of the fluorescent cloth before it's been lit up? Both the rock salt lamp and the fluorescent cloth originally belonged to Delicia. Wouldn't it be natural to assume that this cloth was used to wrap the body? Prosecutor Von Karma? I believe the present conditions give us much reason to suspect Delicia. Oh. Drop your bowl. Oh. Just picks it up with her foot.
Hold it, Greggy. Do you really suspect me?
I don't yet know if you're the culprit. But it's true that you're hiding something, am I right?
That's...
So, you're saying the murder weapon and the cloth were originally from Delicia's room? Yes. What's so funny? Just as I expected from you. The murder weapon and the cloth were not from her room. How unfortunate for you. What's he mean? Before the contest began, Master noticed her violation of the rules. He confiscated the cloth and the rock salt lamp and kept them in his room for safekeeping. What? The victim was not seen as he stayed locked up in his room after the contest had begun. The only one who could have unlocked the locked rooms was Jeff Master. On the murder weapon, the rock salt lamp was being kept in Master's room. This should be the decisive evidence in proving Master's guilt. Defense attorney. You've lost to me before you even had a chance to stand in court. What's this? What? Was all our investigating for nothing? Miss Delicious? Why didn't you tell us about your confiscated items?
Well... Manny said I'd look suspicious if I did.
Prosecutor Von Karma?
And it's true, y'all suspect me, don't you?
How clumsy of you, defense attorney. Von Karma. So that's why he let us investigate Delicia's room. And in your clumsiness, there's one more thing I need to inform you of. 2 sets of fingerprints were found on the murder weapon. 2? Yes. They belong to Jeff Master and Delicia Scones. No other fingerprints were found. After Master killed Dover with the confiscated rock salt lamp, he foolishly concealed a murder weapon bearing his own fingerprints in its owner's room. I don't even need to prove my case in court. I have more than enough perfect evidence to prove Master's guilt.
Objection!
Hold it. I still have some doubts about the fluorescent cloth found in Mr. Master's room. Bah! Irrelevant. After disposing of the body, he intended to return it to Delicia's room. I don't have enough information to refute Von Karma's reasoning. Nothing left to say. If your job is done, leave this place. That's... I can't give up yet. We've wasted enough time as it is. Bad, take them away. There are still some doubts left in our investigation. Bad's standing up to him, too. Detective Bad. What's the meaning of this? It's not my nature to leave any doubts behind. There's still one piece of evidence that has yet to be identified. That's right. There's still the traces someone left behind. Bah! Talk about your doubts as much as you want later. But this, my dear attorney, is none of your business.
Objection!
No, I also have some doubts about one piece of evidence. It's likely that I have the same doubts Detective Bad has. What? This is the piece of evidence left in Mr. Master's room that is yet to be identified. Yeah, who left that handprint? Somebody left gloved finger marks on one of Mr. Master's desserts. If these were the killer's finger marks, then it's possible that the killer also didn't leave any fingerprints on the murder weapon. How did you know the state of the crime scene? We investigated it? Oh, I gave them permission to investigate. Bad? What possessed you to let a defense attorney into the crime scene? I would think we should be allowed to investigate too, buddy. I don't recall you telling me not to let them in. Bah, such impudence. You'd best remember, Bad. Your salary review depends on me. Oh, threatening him the same way that our edgy boy threatens Dick. Although, it's starting to be plain to see how he won all his court cases. This isn't good for Bad. So glad I have a kind boss like Mr. Edgeworth. Your salary review depends on how you perform here. I'm surprised at what a mere attorney like you managed to uncover in such a short time. However, it's possible those finger marks were Master's own doing. Because he always wore gloves while cooking.
Objection!
Do you have evidence that those finger marks were left by Master? And moreover, there are still a few points of suspicion surrounding Delicia. Oh, you still haven't given up on that?
Greggy, you still suspect me? I've already apologized for stealing a few bites.
I don't want to suspect you. However, I can't easily trust those who tell lies. You must still be hiding something.
Greggy's a bully.
Don't you know the temperature fresh cream must be kept at? call yourself a dessert chef, but you lack the most basic knowledge.
I'm sorry for my lack of knowledge.
In your case, it's not even about the lack of knowledge. In truth, you don't even know how to make desserts, do you? Defense attorney! Stop trying to force your own reasoning. In a court of law, the evidence tells all. If you say the witness is lying, show it with evidence. We're not in court yet, but very well. This evidence shows Delicia can't make desserts.
Take that!
The only things Delicia made were those that broke the rules.
Objection!
The lamp and cloth that broke the rules were being held in Master's room. There is no way the witness could have returned them to her room.
Objection!
Those weren't the only fake desserts she made. But her desserts may look like something out of a fairy tale at first glance. But in reality, they're nothing but mannequins, decorated with cream. Apart from the cream, they're all fake. This isn't something one aiming to become the world's greatest pastry chef would do. Is this true, Bad? Yes. My shoes can attest to that. Will that be enough to convince Prosecutor Von Karma? Once he sees what Delicia's done, he'll have no choice but to be convinced. Delicia, the fact that your actions could lead to you being a suspect is no laughing matter.
I didn't murder!
Isn't it time you told us the whole truth? Who are you, and why were you indulging yourself in another contestant's work?
Yes, see, I understand.
Her mask about to come off.
The truth is, I'm not really a dessert chef like I led you to believe. I'm actually a pharmacist.
Pharmacist? That's a completely different occupation. It's no wonder he couldn't hide his surprise. Why is a pharmacist like you participating in this contest?
I just love eating desserts. I joined because I thought I'd be able to eat some of Jeffy's desserts. I never thought I'd end up making it to the finals.
Even Prosecutor Von Karma's at a loss for words.
So that's the real reason why you entered the contest? Yes, see. As expected, Jeffy's desserts were oh so good.
So, the gloved finger marks on the picture frame were your doing?
No way! I never wore gloves.
Delicia's fingerprints were found on Mr. Master's chocolates. Yeah, strange that if she were wearing gloves, why would she take them off then when touching the desserts? So it's true she wasn't wearing gloves.
Yes, see, exactly. You do believe me, Greggy?
Objection!
Is your face stuffed with nothing but desserts?
Sorry, Manny.
I think it's her belly that's stuffed. Were Master's desserts all that you ate?
Actually, no. After the afternoon tea, I also ate Icy's desserts.
You mean you entered the victim's room?
Yes, see, exactly. The room was empty after all.
Perhaps the victim was already dead by then. Yeah, because you said he didn't show up at the afternoon tea either.
so I ate the delicious star-shaped dessert that was nearby.
Miss Delicious, you really are a glutton. It is rare you see a woman with this kind of appetite.
That's all I did. Greggy, Manny, everyone, I'm sorry I caused you trouble.
Now that you've told us the truth, everything's fine. There's no need to apologize. This does not mean that your testimony is trustworthy. I'll be investigating the victim's room after this. Only then will I decide if your testimony is true. Prosecutor Von Karma, I'd like to go as well. I also need to ascertain whether my reasoning up until now has been correct. I've let you follow, but I have no intention of letting you investigate. That's enough for me. This? What is the meaning of this? The desserts adorning the victim's room had disappeared without a trace. Was this the true killer's doing? A body that was hidden inside a dessert, and a murder weapon that was moved. Further investigation would be required to arrive at the truth of this case. So, now what? Okay, we're back in present day. Oops, guess I went on for a little too long there. Something like that happened? I had no idea. None of the case files I read went into such detail. Well, I doubt there would be anything in there that would be inconvenient to the prosecution. Especially with that Von Karma at the head. How did the investigation go from there? The desserts had disappeared from the victim's room, so the investigation hit a rough patch. Thanks to that, it took about a whole year before a verdict was handed down. 1 whole year. This was before the whole 3-day pre-trial system was established. Trials didn't need to finish in the short amount of time that they do now. I see. Did they ever find out why the victim's dessert disappeared? Well, kinda. His dessert was like a candy ice sculpture, made from sherbet. Since it was made from ice, the general consensus was that it had melted. I see, so the temperature controls in his room were tampered with as well. However, that might not quite be the case. What do you mean? This museum used to be Mr. Master's mansion. Say that's 3 times fast. The stage of the IS-7 incident. And in this very place, they're exhibiting the Sherbet Salon from 18 years ago. The victim's dessert? Yep, though it could be just a replica of the original. That's why Uncle Ray had to come today, to check it out. And for your old man, too. Now then, let's get a move on and check out the room. I'm pretty sure it's over in the Winter Palace. So, Masters no longer lives here. Does this mean that he did end up being convicted? The Winter Palace should be... Huh? It's locked up. That's odd. They've already opened the museum. Mr. Shields. According to the pamphlet we received at the entrance, the Winter Palace is over here. Oh, that room. Really? I could have sworn it was this one. Alright, let's scoot. We gotta confirm the truth of what happened 18 years ago. Man, it's still as cold as ever. Uncle Ray's gonna freeze solid. Seems the Winter Palace lives up to its name. It's like a freezer in here. With the light dim like this, it's almost as if the room itself is made of ice. I think the control panel for the room temperature is on the back wall. Miles, why don't you check what temperature it's set at for me? Uncle Ray's gonna give the curator a piece of his mind later. It's way too cold in here. Well, I mean, if these are ice sculptures in here... very well. But if you want to look around the room a bit, feel free to stay, or freeze to your heart's content. I'll get the camera ready. I want to take some pictures of this place, and show it to your old man. Understood. There are two sculptures displayed here. Those sculptures are replicas of the desserts that vanished 18 years ago. Impressive, huh? Those sculptures made of ice. Yes. My father never got to see those ice sculptures. And now, 18 years later, I'm standing before them. Miles, sorry to bother you while you're deep in thought. Can you turn this way a little? Like this? Yes, yes, like that. Selfie. Mr. Shields, you're not. Say cheese. That look on Hedgie's face. Mr. Shields, please don't take pictures of me. Sorry, my bad. I just wanted to make sure the camera works okay. That camera looks quite old. Yeah, well, that's because it's an old-fashioned camera. You know, an instant camera. Ah, like the one used to photograph the body. It automatically develops the photos after shooting. Pretty cool, huh? Yes, I know. Though I've never used one. You're quite the know-it-all. You really are the old man's son. Can you move a bit? I want to take some more photos of the room. His face has taken on an unusually serious expression. He's probably thinking about the IS-7 incident. Man, I snapped a bunch. They're already developed, see? Oh, I see one of those rock salt lamps. Well, I have one more question for you, Mr. Know-It-All. Do you know what these two sculptures represent? They're sculptures of Taurus and Gemini from the winter constellations. Oh, bingo! Not bad, Miles. That's probably why they call this room the Winter Palace. Uncle Ray's feeling generous today, so I'll give you a copy of this photo, too. Thanks. Okay, so this confirms that Master was found guilty. So there's a spring, summer, winter, and autumn palace. Strange that they're not in order, though. Associated temperature, seasons, and constellations. Are these replicas of the constellation desserts? Yeah, it looks like these two sculptures are also made of sherbet. Uncle Ray's only seen the real sculptures in photos. But these sculptures look like the real deal. This was what you wanted to show me? Yeah. I think your old man would have wanted you to see it as well. I'm sorry, Uncle Ray didn't have the courage to come here alone. Don't apologize. This is a good opportunity to learn about my father's case. That means a lot to me. So you want me to take another commemorative photo? No thanks. Miles, since we came all the way here, why don't you take a look around? Well, since this room is so cold, I thought I'd go to a warmer room. If that cold, why don't you borrow my clothes? In exchange, I'll borrow your jacket. No thanks. Let's try enduring this for just a little longer. For some reason, a giant block of ice is on display. Description written on the surface: Castor and Pollux. Every December, large meteor showers appear in the direction of these two stars. And so, mask to mask? And then oh, it's... Those two are being rather noisy and distracting. Can't be helped. I should go look at another exhibit. Oh yeah, it's those two. There's a boy with a school bag. Did he come to the art gallery? By himself? She even quit her job in order to run this museum. I don't really get it. Perhaps one of his parents knows the curator. A giant block of ice is being displayed here. It appears to be quite heavy. No, the inside must be hollow. On the surface, there's an image of the stars and a written description. The Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters, a star cluster that compromises a part of Taurus. But for all these stars to be grouped together as a cluster, the ways of the ancient people must have been very imprecise. Miles, can I ask you something? Of course, what is it? Is it okay to take photos in this room? Well, it's a little late to ask now. What, haven't you checked? But if you haven't gotten any warnings about it, it should be fine. Ah, sorry. Well, to be honest, I would have taken some anyway. Your old man had always wanted to investigate this Winter Palace, after all. If my father had seen this room, would he have found something? If he had, the results of the trial might have also... No, there's no point thinking about that now. Mr. Shields, I can't find the temperature control panel. Ah, right, they keep it where it's hard to find. Just one moment. Huh? It's locked. Makes sense. They wouldn't want the guests changing the temperature themselves. According to the pamphlet, the Winter Palace has a temperature of 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Brr, now that is cold. Uncle Ray's gonna freeze to death. Guess I'll need to find someone to share body heat with. Preferably a beautiful lady. Oh, are you trying to freeze me to death as well, those cold eyes? Of course not. Alrighty, now that I got some pictures of this room, let's check out the other palaces. Might as well see them all since we're already here. I suppose you're right. Ah! Huh? That yell just now came from the fountain patio. Let's go, Miles. There's someone passed out on the floor. And that man there is... Is that Larry? Oh, Larry, what are you doing here? No, I'm getting ahead of myself. What exactly happened here? Edgy! Oh, is that the, That's him. That's, The candy chef. I saw something that no one should ever have to see again. Larry, calm down. Why is there someone passed out here? Something smells. It's gotta be the butt. I didn't do anything. He just fell down all of a sudden. This man. He can't be. Yeah, I think it is. Excuse me, but what is the matter here? Oh, it's... You can't raise such a ruckus in the museum, boys. This scent is... Seems like he's still breathing, but this is a bad situation. Miles, it's not safe here. Get everyone out of here. Everyone, get away from that room right now. There's poison gas coming out of it. Holy shit. Chemical attack. Mr. Shields, how's the victim? Looks like he breathed in a little too much of that poison gas. He's still unconscious. According to the doctor in the ambulance, there are no external injuries or any other wounds. Thanks to our fortunate timing, we were able to save him before he was too far gone. But he's not out of the woods yet. He's currently being treated by a specialist in the infirmary. I see. Mr. Shields, is he an acquaintance of yours? Yeah, you could say that. He's Dane Gustavia. He was involved in the IS-7 incident. The pastry chef. So he was involved in the case 18 years ago. At least the other guy's doing alright. Is he a friend of yours, Miles? Yes, you could say that. It's fortunate you weren't hurt, Larry. What's you could say that's supposed to mean, Edgy? How can you treat a childhood friend like that? That's just cruel. And also, when I'm dressed like this, I'm called Laurisidonium, you know? Yeah, he's... So, you're back in that gimmick, huh? So don't call me Larry, it's Laurice. This man is Larry Butts. He's nothing but trouble, but he's been one of my friends since grade school. Some time ago, he awakened to the calling of art and assumed the alias Laurisidonium. But a butts by any other name would smell just as much. Really? You two were childhood friends? Better report that to your old man, too. I'm sure it'll bring him joy. He was always worried about you not being able to make friends. Good for you, Edgy. Aren't you glad to have a bosom buddy like me? My father was worried about something like that. But anyway, what are you doing in a place like this, Larry? How many times do I have to tell you, Edgy? I'm Larice! What are you doing in a place like this? Yikes! Don't glare at me when you talk! So, are you gonna tell me? Isn't it obvious? I've come here to study art. I'm gonna take Mandy on a date here, so I was just doing some scouting beforehand. Aren't you just using art as an excuse to go on a date? Probably. Thinks he's gonna pick up girls this way. Not bad, Larice. Maybe you can introduce some pretty girls to me next time. Oh, now you're talking my language, dude. I think I'm getting a headache. By the way, Larice, did you notice anything strange when you found the victim? No, not really. Nothing that would make you say, I saw something that no one should ever have to see? Oh, yeah, that! I was just surprised when I saw that old dude fall down out of nowhere like that. I didn't do anything this time, for once. Is that anything to brag about? Visitors, we wish to deeply apologize for the disturbance. Yeah, that's Kate, right? Yeah. I'm the curator of this museum. My name is Catherine Hall. She's also one of the people involved in the IS-7 incident. And that tea set looks familiar, too. Hello there, Miss Kate. Oh my. Damn, you aged like a fine wine. Monsieur Shields, thank you for your continued assistance. She was the woman we saw at the reception, so she's the curator here. We apologize for the inconvenience, especially since it's the opening day. No, you didn't have to apologize for a thing, Miss Kate. I almost forgot. Let me introduce you to someone. This is Miles Edgeworth. He's Gregory Edgeworth's son. Oh, Monsieur Edgeworth's. Oh, what are you... Oh, she's... The son after 18 years. It is an honor to meet you, defense attorney Miles Edgeworth. Wow, that was amazing. You still got that golden voice, Miss Kate. Actually, I'm a prosecutor. Oh, so you're a prosecutor? My most sincere apologies, Monsieur Edgeworth. This woman is very polite, but slightly odd. Katie, could I get your autograph right here, pretty please? What? Yes, if you so desire. Why do you want her autograph? Hey, don't tell me you don't know who she is! My, you really don't keep up with the entertainment news, do you, Miles? What? What is this unbearable atmosphere? She's a superstar actress who's been in tons of musicals and movies. She's a great singer, too. Currently, I'm the curator of this museum. I've already retired from the stage. I finished filming my role for my last movie a few days ago. My co-stars also said that they would come here once I opened the doors. And here you are, Monsieur Artiste. I return this to you. Thanks a bunch, Katie. I'll treasure it for the rest of my life. Well, well, looks like me and Larry share the same interests. Hot chicks, yeah. So I gathered. Larry, you said you're here to study art. Why don't you practice drawing as well? Since you're here at Miss Hall's art museum.
Oh, it would be an honor to have Monsieur Artiste sketch our exhibits.
Oh, I guess even you have some good ideas every now and then, Edgy. I do a bit of sketching for Katie here.
What an amusing person.
Forgive the disturbance. Incidentally, who's the woman that was with you earlier? Oh, that was... yeah.
That was Madame Delicia Scones. She is currently assisting in the treatment of Monsieur Gustavia in the infirmary.
So we have most of the players from that incident all still here.
Even though I said infirmary, since this is an art museum now, it is only provisional. As I'm the only staff member working here, I cannot take a leave of my duties for too long.
Delicia Scones.
I believe you've heard that name before, Mr. Shields.
Yep, looks like the whole gang from the IS-7 incident is here. Well, I doubt that's a coincidence. I doubt it too.
Monsieur Shields, Monsieur Edgeworth, would you care for some hot tea?
Oh, Miss Kate's tea. That takes me back. Yes, if you please.
Now, I must take my leave. I must explain the situation to the other visitors.
Alright, thanks for everything. This smells like Ceylon tea. I should drink it before it cools. Oh, the Ceylon tea is of very high quality. And this aroma of citrus does wonders for your concentration, right? Your old man said the exact same thing 18 years ago. But the saucers back then were chilled. Today they're warm. Oh. Anyway, don't you think this current situation is rather unusual? You mean how everyone involved in the case 18 years ago is gathered at this museum? Yes, I would like to be in charge of this case, if at all possible. Oh, there you guys are. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay?
Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Shields. I came here as fast as I could when I heard you were done... I heard you were done in by the poison gas.
Oh, my sweet honey Kay. How about a hug after being parted for so long? No.
Geez, so you're perfectly fine? I can't believe you made us worry so much.
Detective Gumshoe, what's the meaning of bringing Kay here? I'm sorry, sir. I knew the gas was dangerous, so I tried to stop her. But no matter how much I ran and ran and ran and ran, I couldn't gain any ground.
When it comes to running away, no one's faster than the Yatagarasu.
But you weren't running away from here. Oh. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm all set, sir. I'll start investigating the crime scene. Since there might still be traces of gas in the room, I'll have to ask everyone to wait here. Very well. I'm counting on you. Good luck in there, Flatfoot.
Wow, Gummy's so cool. He's just like a detective.
Well, yeah, he gets because he is a detective. But that's what he is, yeah. Yes, Edgeworth here. Mr. Edgeworth! Looks like the poison gas is dissipated, sir. Detective, calmly explain the state of the Autumn Palace. So this is supposed to be the Autumn Palace, but I'm noticing the same two sculptures. And it looks like the other two are covered. Oh, and I see a familiar machine next to one of them. Oh, and maybe the cloths are the same too. And on the right there's a statue of an animal with 2 horns. Statue of 2 people and a statue of an animal with 2 horns. Isn't that the exact same thing as I saw in the Winter Palace just a while ago? Yeah, and I pointed out before that they seem to be out of order, the way the rooms are placed. Also, the room is wet with water thanks to the sprinkler system. And I see that the Gemini statue, it looks like the case above it is broke. That also prevented the gas from harming anyone else. The sprinkler system. Was there a fire in the room? There are no signs of a fire, and the fire alarm hasn't gone off either, sir. The sprinklers in this museum are the kind that detects both smoke and fire. If it detects smoke, it'll send an alert to the security room. I think the poison gas might have set off an alarm in the security room, sir. Was there anyone in the security room at the time? The only one working here is the curator, Miss Catherine Hall, sir. She's been in the reception booth, opposite the security room, ever since the museum opened. Did Miss Hall turn on the sprinklers? The sprinkler system can only be operated manually from the security room, sir. If it had been automatic, it would have sprayed water all over the exhibits. Since the system is manual, the situation can be examined and the exhibits moved if need be. I guess there would be more priority over the exhibits than the building. Only in a museum. Ugh. But it's way too cold in this room, sir. Isn't this supposed to be the Autumn Palace? Feels more like the dead of winter in here. The Autumn Palace is cold. I checked the thermostat earlier, and it was set to 27 degrees. I couldn't believe it. Why would the Autumn Palace be set to the same temperature as the Winter Palace? That's definitely odd. That's about all I know for now, sir. If I figure out anything else, I'll give you another call. I see. I'm counting on you, Detective. What did Gummy say? He said it feels more like winter in the Autumn Palace. I don't get it. I haven't been able to enter that room personally. But it should be possible to look inside after the police have finished investigating. I'd like to know what it's like in there myself. Isn't there anyone else who knows about the incident? Ah, there is someone. Miles' friend, right? Friend? Though he's such a nuisance, we have no choice but to listen to what he has to say for now. Wait, you mean... Oh, you're here too, Kay. You're looking cute as ever. Okay. Give me 1 second, and then we'll hear what the Butts has to say. Alright. So. Time to see what the butts knows.
Long time no see. It's Larry, isn't it?
Okay, right now my name is Laurice. Oh boy, he's still on with that. I'm an artist, that's why.
Oh, so that's your pen name. Laurice, the artist formerly known as Larry.
Well, you really are a good girl, Kay. Nothing like edgy here. Larry, I have many things I need to ask you. What's this? Don't tell me you suspect me again. You're gonna say because I was first on the scene, I must be the culprit, aren't you? I never said anything like that. I only want you to tell me what you saw. You said you saw something that no one should ever have to see, did you not? But now I'm saying that I didn't see nothing, and I didn't do nothing. Probably. Okay, that is sus as fuck. Oh my, he didn't seem so confident at the end there. There are somewhat troublesome circumstances surrounding this man. The saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts, still holds true 26 years on. One could say his tendency to attract trouble is legendary. It seems he's done something troublesome without even realizing it himself. I'll just have to try and extract the truth from him. Ooh, okay, chess time again. My goal is to expose whatever Larry's hiding. However, I didn't see nothing. I didn't do nothing. Holy crap. Larry is an extremely restless and troublesome man. Until he cools down, we'll just wait and see. First, I'll ask him about his goal. This isn't something I can't handle. I'll finish this quickly. Why'd you come here? What was your purpose for coming to the art gallery? Probably to pick up women. What? Are you saying I don't belong in an art gallery? Yeah, if you're not gonna talk, hold that pose so I can paint your portrait. Then I'll scribble all over the portrait I drew of you. Your paintings are all scribbles. Yeah, I was just joking. I would never scribble over my paintings, of course. They're works of art, after all. I don't think any of your works would qualify as art. Don't look down on me! There are people who recognize my skills as an artist! Those people are blind. Oh man, we can just... We still have to wait and see, just as fun as it would be to roast the fuck out of Larry. Mandy's my girlfriend, but it's really my painting she fell in love with. That's why I'll sketch anything my girlfriend likes. Then why are you here on your own today? So what? Can't a guy with a girlfriend spend some time alone? Mandy said she's a Gemini. I thought she'd be happy if I showed it to her. If I showed her a sketch of it on our next date. I see. Okay, now... Do you really have that much confidence in the sketch? Well, I'm not so confident about this one. But I thought she'd be happy if I did a sketch of her astrological sign. So you came to see the Gemini Sculpture. I see. That's just like you. To impress Mandy, you came here to see the Gemini Sculpture. What? How'd you find out? Because you just unknowingly told me everything. Well then, I'm not saying another word from now on. He's finally decided to remain silent. In that case, I'll be more relentless in my questioning. I'll try to find out what he was doing here at the art gallery. I'll expose his true motives. This shouldn't take long. Just what did you do in this art gallery? What's with that glare? I don't really remember anything. I didn't have a pamphlet, so I just loitered around the fountain patio. You forgot to get a pamphlet? Don't they give you a pamphlet at the reception booth after you pay the admission fee? Huh? Oh, is that right? So the admission wasn't free, huh? Don't tell me you sneaked in here without paying. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do anything bad. It's just there was no one at the reception booth. That's why I thought you could come in here for free. Ms. Hall wasn't there. Ms. Hall wasn't at the reception booth? Yeah, it didn't look like there was anyone on the other side of the desk. Come to think of it, Gumshoe did say something about that. Ms. Hall was busy activating the sprinklers from the security room. Because of the incident, she had to leave the reception booth. Poor Katie. She went to all that trouble to open up the palace. And now the art gallery's star attraction, the Winter Palace, is completely ruined. You're certainly well informed about the Winter Palace for someone without a pamphlet. The Winter Palace is where your goal, the Gemini Sculpture, is located. You had your sights set on the Winter Palace from the beginning, didn't you? What? How'd you find me out again? That's right, my goal was to see the Gemini Sculpture. From the very beginning, the Winter Palace was the very reason I came here. He confessed quite easily. You can never tell anything with this man. Next, I'll ask for further information regarding the Winter Palace. He may still have some fight left in him. I'll watch his reactions and extract the information I need. I have no more use for you. Larry, did you also enter the Winter Palace? What's with that look of distrust? Sure, I tried going in, but... You tried to go in, but you weren't actually able to, right? Yeah, that's about right. I wanted to go in, but then that old geezer collapsed. I was a little freaked out. So you couldn't get in because the victim of the poison gas collapsed. Yeah, he fell right out of the Winter Palace. I'm sure the victim emerged from the Autumn Palace. If it weren't for that poison gas incident, I'd be in there sketching the Gemini Sculpture right now. Larry must have mistaken the Autumn Palace for the Winter Palace. Yes, and wasn't it done up exactly the same? And the door was locked when we first arrived. That aside, it seems his goal was to sketch the sculpture. This should be a useful clue. Larry, did you see anything in the Winter Palace? You're still hung up on that? Didn't I say I didn't see anything? I started to think it wasn't such a good idea to come to the art gallery. Oh? I needed to leave soon to meet with my girlfriend. Perhaps I should try using that clue. You came here to sketch the sculpture for your girlfriend, did you not? I don't think you'd give up that easily. Even after the victim collapsed, you could still see inside the room from the outside, right? Well, I may have gotten a tiny glimpse, but... There's no evidence that I saw something scary in there, right? Something scary? My, I'm disappointed it turned out to be this simple. Larry, you saw something scary at the crime scene, didn't you? Edgy, can you read my mind? In that case, there's no point in keeping any more secrets from you. You just told me everything of your own accord. That was a complete waste of time, but finally, it's checkmate. I had my eyes fixed on the Gemini Sculpture.
Objection!
You mentioned the Gemini Sculpture many times now, but I don't believe the sculpture you saw was the Gemini one. What? Was it a mirage, then? Larry mistakenly thought he saw the Winter Palace. This piece of evidence shows what Larry really saw.
Take that!
Take a look at this pamphlet. In the Autumn Palace, the Pisces, Capricorn, Aries, and Aquarius sculptures are displayed. Incidentally, I can confirm that the Gemini sculpture is located in the Winter Palace. Therefore, the sculpture you saw could not have been the Gemini one. I knew it. Huh? I expected him to be a little more shocked at the news. I thought it was kind of strange. I know I saw a single goddess. And that transformation was no mirage. Transformation, you say? Oh, you're curious too, Edgy? Well, nothing for it. Guess I'll have to show you. Show me? What exactly? I drew a picture of the very scene I saw back then. But I really can't believe what I drew. Picture? What picture? This one right here. What is this disturbing picture? Like it's crying blood. And I see Danganronpa blood down there too. Is that sculpture weeping tears of blood? Larice, this picture's scary. Okay, it scared me too. This Gemini sculpture suddenly transformed into a goddess right before my eyes. I couldn't help but scream. As you were drawing that? So the victim collapsing wasn't what surprised him. What do you mean when you say transformed? I don't really understand it myself. The lower half of its body just turned into a fish. A fish goddess? That would be the Pisces sculpture, wouldn't it? In mythology, Pisces represents the fish that a goddess and her son transform into. Really? So Pisces isn't just a couple of ordinary fish? Edgy, you don't think that sculpture's cursed, do you? Those tears of blood turned the Gemini sculpture into a fish. Preposterous. You simply mistook the Pisces sculpture for the Gemini one. That is very weird, though. Oh, you put the sketch in your organizer? Even a sketch like this can be used as scrap paper, after all. How could you? But it's strange. Why did only the lower half of the sculpture transform? Uncle Ray's a bit curious about what went on in the Autumn Palace. Indeed. I wonder if someone tampered with the Pisces sculpture. Yes, Edgeworth here. Mr. Edgeworth, we finished searching the room. The poison gas isn't a threat anymore, so you can enter the crime scene. Right, good work, Detective. It seems we can enter the Autumn Palace now. Nice timing, Mr. Detective. Let's go right now. I want to see the Pisces sculpture. If Kay's going, I'm going too. I was planning on bringing him along anyway. Right then, let's proceed to the Autumn Palace. So this is the Autumn Palace. It certainly does resemble the Winter Palace. I've been waiting, sir. Huh? Aren't you that hairy butts guy? Wrong, I'm Larice Donium. Never mind that, Detective. Your report, if you please. Roger that, sir. We discovered a used gas burner during our investigation. The nozzle was still warm when we found it, so it may be related to the incident. Was it used to heat something? Yeah, I'm starting to get an idea of what Larry thought he saw when he saw the sculpture transform. Was that ladder always there on the ground? Do you mean step ladder? It was probably used by the person who set off the poison gas. The poison gas was released when someone lifted the lid off that glass case, sir. So it melted and produced poison gas. The Pisces sculpture. Huh? Seems like you know about it, sir. Well then, do you know what the sculpture next to it is? Since we're in the Autumn Palace, it would probably be the Capricorn sculpture. As expected of Mr. Edgeworth, I thought it was Taurus myself. I was thrown off as it was covered by this weird cloth. The fluorescent cloth. Wonder what it's doing here. Evidence from the IS-7 incident. No matter what it is or how it got here. Sculptures in this room are all covered with this fluorescent cloth. And because they're hidden, it makes me want to see them even more. Oh, that was Kay. Let's take a look. I'll just get this cloth off. Wow, they're beautiful! Okay, that must be Aquarius. You don't think the transformation Larry saw was in fact the moment the cloth wrapped around the lower half of Pisces fell? See, Edgy? It wasn't a mirage or a mistake after all. Hey, Miles, there sure is something strange about this room. It looks exactly the same as the Winter Palace we were in just a moment ago. Yes, I agree. Perhaps the sculptures were hidden to make it look like the Winter Palace. If you wrap the cloth around the lower half of the Pisces sculpture, it looks like Gemini. Capricorn is a half fish, too. Hide the lower half and it resembles Taurus. The remaining two, which couldn't be altered with trickery, were covered up. So was somebody trying to make somebody think this was the Winter Palace? The Autumn Palace was made to look like the Winter Palace. So it seems, Mr. Shields. It looks like we'll need to conduct an investigation of the Autumn Palace, too. Oh, you again. Mr. DeBest, Judge Courtney? Hey, you guys again? This is a problem. You see, this is my crime scene. Mr. Edgeworth, it seems my power is insufficient. If you're here, then it would appear that you still haven't understood my warnings. Furthermore, you know full well your reckless actions will cause trouble for that detective. In the name of the goddess of law, I must pass judgment. Got it all wrong, pal. I was the one who asked Mr. Edgeworth to investigate. Really? Well then, Flatfoot. I'll have to do that. That? Yeah, that. Right. Cut your salary. Looking forward to your next payday. I've always wanted to say that. You're the last person I want cutting my salary, pal. Hold it, DeBest. I'm only cooperating with the police as a witness to this incident. Detective Gumshoe is not to blame. So that's how it is. Well then, should I be raising his salary? No, that's not what I meant. But it would be really nice to get my salary raised. Your mercy is deeply moving, Sebastian. But past transgressions must lead to future judgment. Prosecutor Edgeworth and all in his company depart at once from this holy site. But that's... we only just got here. The one given the goddess of law's blessing for this incident was Sebastian. In other words, Mr. DeBest is the prosecutor in charge of this case? That's right, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening performance is over. Besides, I've already got my eyes set on the culprit. What? Who, pal? Well, naturally, that artist. Oh, Larry? Me? Hey, what's going on, Edgy? Don't ask me, I can't understand his reasoning. If you can't understand how the best prosecutor thinks, it simply shows how inculpable you are. Seems he doesn't know what inculpable even means. That's right, Sebastian. Prosecutor Edgeworth is quite incapable. Yes, he's incapable. She just nonchalantly corrected him. Don't underestimate my intelligence-gathering skills. I just came from the infirmary and asked the doctor there about the cause of the poison gas. And what was the cause? Some normal substance. What was its name again? Oh, hold on a second. I'll call the doctor to make sure. You forgot already? Since Sebastian is on the phone, I'll answer for him. In that case, why didn't you tell us before he called? The poison gas was caused by the mixing of two different types of chemicals. Their names are normalium and phthallium. Oh, well. Okay. So, what are those chemicals exactly? Normalium is a red liquid that's commonly used in everyday products. It can be found in paint and detergent, among other things. But it's not toxic by itself. So you're saying that it's a substance readily available to anyone? Yes, but phthallium, on the other hand, is not so easy to obtain. Its name sure sounds dangerous. What's it used for? It's the active ingredient of a white pesticide known as megatoxin S. Oh, that definitely sounds like a name for a poison. Phthallium itself also has a deep white color, but it's not readily sold in stores. It's nearly impossible to obtain domestically. Right now, we are looking into how this chemical was obtained. I see, so that pink liquid on the floor was that. In Larry's sketch. Okay, I finally found out the names of those chemicals. Judge Courtney has already told us. We don't need to hear it again. Fine then, I'll cut to the chase. You know that normalium from the poison gas is also used in paint, right? Today, out of everyone who visited the art gallery, the only one carrying paint was that artist. You're treating me as the culprit just because of that? I object to the red paint on the palette you're carrying. Hey, Edgy, don't you think this prosecutor's kind of an idiot? Yes, but... Indeed. Although I've only known him for a short time, his logic is always absurd. Hey, don't ignore me! It's alright, Sebastian. They're only doing it because they're afraid of you. Yes, we are so afraid. Like the first star to appear at night, show us reasoning that shines the best. The first star shines best. Not bad. Hey, you guys, better listen up too. Okay. That artist was the first to discover the victim, so naturally he's the best suspect. The poison gas was caused by normalium, a chemical found in paint, right? As he was carrying paint near the victim, he would have had the best chance. The paint, along with the first witness, that pretty much proves he's the culprit. So, what do you think, Justine? We cannot ignore the possibility. Well then, Mr. Artist, please tell us the truth. Did you leave red paint at the crime scene? Or else, did you cause the poison gas to go off? The only thing I leave behind is my bond of love with you. Please watch what you say. Simping on Maine is not going to help your cause, Larry. My gavel is already prepared to declare you guilty.
Objection!
Please pay no heed to this man's statements.
Objection!
Hey, you guys! Ignoring my reasoning just because it's flawless won't do you any good. Mr. Edgeworth, if you've already admitted defeat, you should take your leave. Even though I don't really have time to deal with your ridiculous reasoning. Allium, a chemical found in paint. Okay, but that... So then, you said... Okay, Courtney said that Fatalium is not so easily procured, so...
Objection!
So where did he get that? Mr. DeBest, your logic is more akin to a shooting star than a shining star. It shines the best, like a shooting star, right? It may shine brightly for a brief moment, but then it burns itself out. Ouch. The poison gas originated from inside the glass case of the Pisces Sculpture. Exactly, so that's where the artist set off the gas, right? He used the normalium in his red paint. As your senior, let me give you one piece of advice. Listen to the explanations of others. The poison gas was caused by mixing both normalium and fatalium together. The normalium contained in the red paint is not enough by itself. Really? But I thought I heard that normalium caused the fatality. Don't tell me you just misheard the forensic report. Darn it! By the time Larry discovered the victim, the room was already filled with poison gas. It's time for you to realize how incapable you really are. Now, I want to take another look at this sketch. I wonder if that's what looked like tears of blood is actually the normalium. Hey, what do you mean by incapable? Although I don't see any of it here now, so maybe the stuff evaporated? Well, I guess that makes sense if it were to create the gas. You tried to use that word earlier and you still don't know what it means. He means to say you are lacking in ability. Incidentally, inculpable has a completely different meaning. I get it. You're making fun of me again, aren't you? Yes. I'm merely saying you were incapable in your investigation. Before you insult Sebastian, I still have some doubts about your own statement. What kind of doubts? For all we know, Mr. Artist could have simply entered the Autumn Palace at an earlier time. That's... Moreover, do you have evidence that the red paint is unrelated to the case? The most important thing now is not the red paint. The red normalium and the white fatalium. Exactly how are these two substances mixed? I believe that is our main concern. Naturally. It was Sebastian's job to investigate that. Were it not for your interference, we would have found that out by now. I never intended to interfere. On the contrary, I'd like to cooperate. Don't tell me you're going to say you know the cause of the poison gas. How the poison gas started. I have something that may shed some light on this matter. Sebastian, do not fall for his bluff. Come now, it's fine, really. Let's hear what he's come up with. If you say so, Sebastian. Come on, show us. How did the poison gas start?
Take that!
Surely you're saying that this... You're not saying this was the cause of the poison gas. Seems even you've noticed it. Duh, it really stands out. Those red tears that Larry saw were undoubtedly normalium. Huh? Wait a second. If those were chemicals, does that mean a ghost set off the poison gas? I don't have time to play along with him. The red tears of normalium could not have triggered the poison gas by itself. That red liquid was mixed inside the case to create the poison gas. What? Just where do you see evidence that the chemicals were mixed? That can also be seen in the sketch. Okay, yeah, it must be that pink puddle.
Take that!
A pink liquid can be seen flowing out from under the case of the Pisces sculpture. This is proof that the two chemicals were mixed. Hold on a second, I still don't get it. How does this show that normalium and fatalium were mixed? Since we have a self-proclaimed artist here, I'll let him explain. Larry, you fancy yourself an artist, so you should know about mixing paint, right? What do you add to red to make pink? Don't take me for a fool, Edgy. All of you know I graduated from middle school. You add white to red to make pink, it's common knowledge. Well, technically there's rose pink, baby pink, and several others.
Hold it!
That's enough. Now do you understand, Mr. DeBest? Ah, that's how it is. By mixing red normalium with white fatalium, you get a pink liquid. Yes, exactly. Took him long enough. I see. It looks like Mr. DeBest finally gets it.
Overruled!
Now what? Prosecutor Edgeworth, you have merely presented one possibility. Do we really know if the color was the result of the two chemicals mixed together? Furthermore, this sketch was drawn by the suspect. I cannot put much faith into it. I just painted what I saw. How could that be a lie? Mr. Artist, I do not permit you to speak. Oh, so cold. But that's part of her charm. Of course I intend to bring the truth to light immediately.
Overruled!
It would not be wise to jeopardize your position even further. Aren't you going to answer my question from before? How do you know that Mr. Artist did not enter the Autumn Palace? If you cannot prove this, there is no room for you to argue any further. Hey, couldn't we find that out if we talked to the victim, pal? The victim, Dane Gustavia, remains unconscious and in critical condition. Ah, that's right. Well then, Sebastian will be investigating the crime scene now. All of you, please vacate the premises. What's Larry have to say now? If you were to take a stand in court, you'd cause a lot of trouble for the presiding judge. Is there something you would like to say, Mr. Artist? Hold your horses, Miss Cool Beauty. My name is Justine Courtney. Please do not address me by such a strange title. Oh, you finally told me your name. Pleased to meet you, Justy. I'm Laurice Donian, but you can call me Laurice. Mr. Artist, please get to the point.
I just remembered something I haven't had a chance to say yet. When I first got to this room, it was locked, so I couldn't go in.
Yeah, just as it was when we got here.
But then that old dude just suddenly fell through the door.
It would appear that the palace rooms can be locked from the inside. As it was during the original incident. But just because you say it was so doesn't mean the door was locked. Without proof, your statement holds no value.
Objection.
Well, why not let Uncle Ray prove it for you? What? After all, we can confirm the room was locked too. Right, Miles? Yes, I remember as well. The Winter Palace should be... That's right, Ray thought that was the Winter Palace too. Huh, it's locked up. That's odd. They've already opened the museum. Until the gas outbreak, no one could have entered this room.
Overruled!
Perhaps the suspect entered the room with the victim during the gas outbreak.
Objection!
As you can see, this man did not inhale any of the gas. If you examine his belongings, you'll find he wasn't carrying a gas mask either. Is that so? Well then, I have no choice but to agree. That was easier than I expected. Anyway, I presume this clears up any suspicions surrounding Larry? It seems Mr. DeBest's logic was off once again.
Not exactly. I just didn't have enough information, that's all. Therefore, my reasoning was just before its time.
He sure has a grand way of saying things didn't work out for him. In that case, there is one more suspect who has yet to take the stand. Mr. Artist, you're free to go.
Huh. But I wanted to talk to you a little more, Justy.
Oh, Larry. Overruled.
Your cold demeanor leaves me mesmerized all the more.
This other suspect is a pharmacist by the name of Delicia Scones. It would have been difficult for this artist to obtain the Fatalium from Megatoxin X. Oh, but a pharmacist may have knowledge of how to do that. Oh, so she's a suspect once again. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Sebastian, it would be best if we brought her in quickly.
Best if we brought her quickly. This sounds good. Leave it to me. Hey, Flatfoot, keep up the investigation.
Got it. Don't tell me. Judge Courtney suspected her from the very beginning. So Mr. DeBest's logic wasn't any help at all. Judge Courtney, just what is she thinking? Oh, but that ends that part now. Alright, though. But I think with that, I'm going to call this a night. We did make a lot of progress in this case, but I think, then tomorrow is going to be Mega Monday again, and I found a ROM hack of Mega Man 7 to do. I'll try to keep an eye out for a couple more things, but anyways, have a good night, and I'll see you later.